Hello students, I am Priyanka and I welcome you all for our today's session. In the last session, I have given the solution for our second online test. I hope now all your doubts must be clear. Please maintain all these tests which you gave in a notebook so that at the end of the year it will be easy for you all to revise this question again because there are many chances that this question might get repeated in your board exams. So it is my request for you to maintain a separate notebook if possible for all the tests which we will be having in this upcoming year. Right? Since all these tests consist of important questions, so at the end of the year for revising in your preparatory leaves it will be easy for you all. Right? So now we will start with today's session. So today we will be discussing with these topics. The first one is positioning in CSS and second is different types of positioning in the CSS. Students, the positioning basically deals with the placement of the elements on a web page. Means whatever elements are there, up till now we have not given any placement to it, right? It was taking automatically places on the web page according to the flow of the program, right? But now we will study how to place the elements by using the positioning in the CSS. So let us start. So first, positioning in CSS. CSS can be used to position or place the HTML elements on a web page. As we just discussed that using CSS we can now give a position or a particular place for our different elements of our web page. Using this position property of CSS, we can position these elements of a web page, right? Up till now we had seen many different properties of CSS. Now this is a new property which we will be studying used for the placement or the positioning of the videos. For this, we can use top, bottom, left and right properties with the position property to allocate some particular position for an element by giving the values in pixels for these above mentioned properties. In short, for using this property position, we also require few properties. Those are top, left, bottom and right. So using these four other properties combined with the position property, you can give a placement for any HTML element, right? I hope it is not confusing. You can see at the syntax below given here. The syntax is how same since it is CSS, so the CSS syntax will be same. Outside there will be a declaration and outside there will be a selector and inside the bracket you have to give declaration. The declaration consists of property and value pair, right? Now here we can see different properties like position, then its value is assigned, then there is a semicolon. When do we use a semicolon? When there are multiple properties in the declaration part, we require a semicolon, right? So how the syntax is, outside the bracket there is a selector. Now this selector are the HTML elements for whom you have to give the position. So it could be h1, p, h2, anything, right? So this is the syntax and for all the properties you have to give different values, right? Now there is a note. For the position property you can give four different values. Understand? Every property has to be given with a value, right? So this position property which we are going to study, it can have four different values and these four different types of position play a very important role in placing the web pages. placing the web elements, right? So it can be either static, fixed, absolute or relative. We will see all these four in details, right? So we will see the different types of positioning and how does it affect the position of an element. Of course, since there are different types means every type will be different and playing a different role. So we will see for which case we can use which type of positioning, right? For which case you have to use fixed, you have to use absolute or relative. So we will see in details, right? So the first type of positioning we will be looking into static, right? Now this static, it is a default type of positioning used by the HTML element. What does this default mean? Means if you are not using this position property, then by default the HTML elements have got the static positioning, right? So the top, bottom, left and right, the other four properties which we need to use with the property does not affect for the static positioning. Means previously what we saw, there is a position property, right? And this position property, we can have different properties along with it. Those were what? Top, bottom, left and right. But for the first type of positioning, that is the static, and it is the default, so we cannot make use of this other properties which we just saw. Those are top, bottom, left and right. The element are not positioned in any special way. Means we users cannot place the elements in any special way if you are using a static positioning, right? The elements are always placed or positioned according to the normal flow of the code of the program. What does this sentence mean? Normal flow means suppose I have got 3-4 lines in my body tag. I hope you remember whatever is there in the body tag, all those lines are going to be printed, right? So these were printed how? They were printed sequentially. Means if in my body section there is a first line of H1 tag, then this H1 will be printed. If on the second line there is a P tag, then P tag will be printed. If again on the third line there is H2 tag, that H2 tag is printed. Means what? The elements are placed in the output or in a web page how? Sequentially as they are written in the code, right? So this is what static positioning means we user or we developer cannot control the placement of the elements if the positioning type is static. We will see with the example what does exactly static positioning means. So now here is the example. On the left side of the screen, it is the code, HTML code, and the right side of the screen there is output. So first concentrate on the body part. Now look in the body section. There are few elements which we have to print. Agree? So in the body, what is the first line to be printed? It is H2 tag and some text is written in the H2 tag. Agree? So this will be printed first, right? After this, then it will go to the second line, and on the second line there is a P tag. Now this P tag has some few sentences. It is a paragraph. So this line will be printed, right? And now there is a third line. Now this division tag we haven't studied because it is not there in your syllabus, but this division tag is generally used to create a division in the web page. So just concentrate on this line. This div element has position static. Now from these three different elements, see you can see there are how many elements? H2, P and div. Agree? These are the three elements to be printed. Now since we are studying static positioning, what we have seen, how does the static positioning works? It will sequentially print the elements how they are written in the code. Agree? Now, first H2, is there any styling applied to it? No. For the P element, is there any styling applied to it? No. Now in the third element division, there is a styling applied to it, right? Which type of styling? Since there is a style tag in a head tag, so it is a internal style tag, right? Internal styling. So now we will see this division part, what styling is applied. So here we are using class. So remember students, class, if you are using a class selector, so in the selector of CSS syntax there should be a period. Agree? Means dot is the class and static is the name of that class. That is why while calling here division space class equal to static. Now we had also seen if we want to call a class for some specific type of element. So now here it is div dot static, means I am calling div type of element which can use this static. I cannot use this static class with H2 and P. I hope you remember this type of selectors we had seen in earlier lecture. If you are not getting it, you can go back to the lectures to just revise so that you will understand what I am telling. We have already covered this. So this static class is called. Agree? So now what styling is given here? Position is given static. Means we are using static type, right? And we have simply given border for that element, which is of green color. See, this is a hex code for green color. Generally in the coding, when you have to give the colors for an element, you can either give a color name or you can give a hash code for that color. So you don't need to know this hash code, it is simply to highlight the element, right? So the main concentrating part is position equal to static. So since we have used static for this third element, so you can see the output is printed in the flow of the program. Means H2 part is printed here, position static. Then P, an element with position, this line is printed. And the last is this division element has position static. This is printed with the styling. Agree? So simple. If you don't even mention this static, it will by default have a static only. Right? Default means you don't need to explicitly mention it. Agree? So should we move to the next part? So now the second type of positioning is fixed. Now as the name suggests, fixed means the place is fixed, right? So when an element has to be forcefully placed at a position where even when we scroll the window, that element is not going to affect. See, you all use internet, right? Generally we have a maximized browser, so you can view all the element. But if your web page is large, so there is a scroll bar, right? So what you do, if you want to see the below elements, you use scroll. Now when you scroll down, the below elements start coming upside, right? And the upper ones, they go more up, means they are not visible, right? So the below elements are coming upwards when you are scrolling. But if any element from that web page is having a position type fixed, then even if you have a scroll bar and you are scrolling the page, the element will not move from its place. It will remain as it is, and the remaining elements in the web page who are not using this fixed type of positioning, they will move if you are scrolling the page. In the later part I have got the examples, so don't worry, I have got every example for every type, so there is no need to worry, it is simple enough. So what we just saw, that suppose we are using a fixed type of positioning, then that element will not move from its place even though you are using a scroll bar. Generally what happens when you are scrolling, the elements move up and down, right? How the way how you scroll, it will move up and down. But if some element is given the position as fixed, it will not move its place even if you are scrolling the page. Now, for giving the position for an element or to fix that element some at some place, so we need now these four different properties: top, bottom, right and left. Now see, if I have to place any element in a web page, so either I have to place it from top some pixels down, from left some pixels or some margin left, or maybe from the right side I want to count how much distance we have to calculate from the right, and same thing we can calculate from the bottom. Means from all four different directions we can give some values. So for placing the element we need this all four properties and with different values given them in the unit of pixels. Means we will be giving the values in pixels for these different properties, right? So to fix a position for an element we require these different properties. We will see with the example. So now observe the code first. Now in the body section, whatever is given it will be printed, right? So first is what? H2, and position fixed is the sentence to be printed in the H2 size, right? So it is printed. Then again in P tag there is few lines which has to be printed. Now you can see the division, that is the div element has position fixed. This line ideally it should be printed here, right? But now we are using some styling for this element. So what styling? Again we are using a class selector. So we will see what styling is given here. Now you see here what changes are there. Division dot fixed means that fixed class you can only use with the division type, right? Now in the declaration part you can see I have given position as fixed. Previously we had seen static. Now this is position fixed. And with this position now we have to use the different properties, other properties for the placement of element. It is not compulsory that you have to use all the four properties. Whatever coordinate you have to set you can use accordingly. So now you can see I am using only two properties from the four, bottom and right. Now you can see from the bottom I have to leave 0 pixels, and from the right I have to leave 0 pixels, right? If I give bottom equal to 10 pixel means from bottom it will leave 10 pixel and it will place that element, right? And if I am giving right equal to 10 pixels, then from the right side of the browser window it will leave 10 pixels and it will place that element. So accordingly we can place the element. For this example, what we have written, bottom equal to 0 or bottom has the value 0 and right has the value 0, means from bottom there should be 0 pixels, means at the bottom it has to be placed, agree? And right has value 0, means from right there should be no space or no margin left from right side. That is why the element is placed here at the bottom right corner of the web page. Why? Because we have given both the values 0 0. That is why it is placed at the extreme 0 0 level, a coordinate, right? And this width means how much width I want for this element, and border is again green color and 3 pixels, how much width for the border. So understand that since I am using fixed and I have given some value, so this page is showing this element at the current position. Now how you will understand that this is fixed in the output? If you maximize or zoom the web page, obviously there will be scroll bars, So when there will be scroll bar, still the fixed element will be at the rightmost bottom corner of the web page. In the next slide, I am having the output of a zoom version of the web page. So now you can see this is my zoom version of that page, same page. I had the scroll bars, but you can see I have scrolled the screen. You can see now this is my browser window size. Still the fixed element, it is there at the rightmost bottom corner only. It has not left its place. What was placed assigned to it? From bottom there should be 0 pixels and from right there should be 0 pixel. Mean it has to be placed at the rightmost bottom corner of the web page. That is why it has not changed the place. Why? Because it is a fixed type of positioning. I hope you are understanding. So now the third is the absolute positioning. So when absolute positioning type is used, the elements are placed exactly at the same coordinates as mentioned in the top, bottom, left and right properties. In this absolute, the flow of the page does not affect the position of an element. This you will understand it clearly in the example. Static was using the flow of the element, means what? The elements were printed in the output sequentially. But now for this absolute, flow of the program does not matter. This sentence is very important. We'll see what exactly. So the elements won't be placed sequentially as mentioned in the flow of the program, but it will take respective position as mentioned in the different properties values. These elements are placed at the specific coordinates relative to the screen, which is starting from the top left corner of the screen, right? And one more thing, generally software developer do not recommend to use this absolute positioning. We'll see why exactly. So what it is given, absolute positioning means you have to actually give the coordinates for the placement of the element, and obviously there will be some reference for those element, right? You know x and y axis, you have drawn graph, right? So for reference what you use, x axis and y axis, and from that point you calculate the value. So for the reference of a web page, we will start from the topmost left corner of the web page, top and left, right? In the previous example what we had seen, right and bottom means at the most right bottom element were placed. Now here for the reference, you will be starting from the top and left corner of the web page. We'll see what does it means. Now first concentrate on the body section. Now in the body section, how many elements are there? Total there are 3 different elements. Which one? H1, H2 and P. What is the first line? The position property. What is the second line? This is heading with an absolute position. Right? And the third line to be printed is with absolute positioning an element, and this sentence has to be printed. Now if you look at the output in the right side screen, H1, the position property, is printed correctly, right? Second, what it had to print? This is a heading with an absolute position. But if you see in the output, this is a heading is not printed in the sequence. Instead, the third line is printed with absolute positioning, right? And this H2 part is printed after that. Why did this happen? So we will see, is there any styling given to H2? Let us see. So go to the style part of the web page or the code. So here you can see that this H2 element is now using a styling, right? And in this styling it is using position as absolute. Means what? It will actually take the position given in the below properties. So come down on the next line. What it is given? Left 100 pixels. Left 100 pixels means it has to leave 100 pixels from the left side of the screen. So if you see the left side margin of the web browser, it will be leaving 100 pixels from the left. So this coordinate is given, and again one more condition is given, that from top of the screen it has to leave 150 pixels. So what it did, from the top of the screen it has left 150 pixels and it has come that much down. So whatever value you give in the left, that much margin or space it will leave. Similarly, for the top, whatever value you give in pixel, that much space it will leave and it will print. So you can see now here the flow of the code didn't work. See students, if this H2 part was not there in this code styling, so the flow was like H1 will be printed, H2 will be printed and P will be printed. Agree? But since we are using position property for this H2 and it is absolute, so it will take the value from these properties and accordingly place the element on a web page. So understood that in the absolute type of property, the element is not placed according to the flow of program, but it will be placed according to the values given in its left, right, top and bottom properties. Now here we are using only two properties. So using these two properties, it has placed itself. From top I have to go down 150 pixels and from left I have to move forward 100 pixels. So this is how absolute positioning works, right? So now this is the last property, that is the relative type of positioning. Now here the element is placed relative to its normal position. Relative means it takes the placement or the position according to its previous or its parent element. Now observe this line. Relative means it takes the placement according to its previous element. We'll see in the example what exactly it means. Here also top, right, bottom, left properties can be used to position this element in a relative way. The other contents of the element will not be adjusted to fit into any gap left by the element. Means if you are using relative positioning, the gaps, if there are any gaps, it will not be adjusted here. And the main thing is that the element position is now related to the other elements of the web page. Up till now what we have seen, either it will be related to the coordinates given in the top, left, right, bottom, or it will be related to the flow of current, flow of the program. But now this relative is slight different. It will position itself based on the previous elements. Means they are interrelated. So if I am using, if in my code there are 3 lines and I am using the relative positioning for the second line, so this second line will be placed according to the first line of the code. We'll see what exactly it means. So now this is the example for relative type of position, right? So first we will see the body part. What it is given? H2 position relative, so that is printed. Then second, an element with position relative is also printed, right? And the third line is what, or the third element is this division element has position relative, right? Now you can see it is not placed properly. Why? Because there is some styling given to it. So we'll go to the relative class. Now here you can see position is given relative, and now from left I have to leave 30 pixels. From the left I have to leave 30 pixels, so it has left the 30 pixels and placed the element. Agree? And from top it had to leave 30 pixels. But I think from top, if you see, it is not 30 pixels. It is more. So why? Why this happened? Also there is one property, border. Again I am giving a border to this element. Hmm? So what I am trying to say, if the position is relative, how does the element get placed? Just observe. From the left, it had to leave 30 pixels. So it has left the 30 pixel from the left. Agree. But from top, I think from the top of the screen. See, we measure from the top of the screen and from the left side of the screen. Right. So if you see from the top, is it really 30 pixels? No, it is not 30 pixels. So then this 30 pixels means what? So this 30 pixels it will take from its previous element. So what was its previous line or element? An element with position. This line is its previous element. So from this line it will calculate 30 pixels and not from the origin. So this is what relative is. Relative means this element will be relatively positioned according to the elements before or after it. So this was the element prior to it. From this element it is calculating the relative value and placing the element in the web page. Now what I will do, I will change this position to absolute and we'll see what it happens. So now the code is same, right? Only the thing I have changed here is position absolute. So you can see what happened. Now this line has actually taken 30 pixels from top and from left also 30 pixels. So if this is happening, will it look good on your web page? So that is why we should not use absolute. In the last slide we had seen that generally developers do not prefer absolute. Why? Because it takes the position whatever it is given, but it might happen that it is getting overlap with the other element. So you can see here it is getting overlap with the h2 which we cannot see. So this should not happen. That is why it is suggested that generally not to use the absolute. You can use relative so that properly the elements are arranged, right? So understood what I am trying to say? Since I have used here absolute, it has taken 30 pixels from the origin, and in the previous slide it was relative, so that is why this 30 pixel was calculated from its previous element, that was the p tag. Where the p tag ends, from that it had calculated 30 pixels top. So this is how the positioning works using CSS. So we saw different types of positioning. Which one? Static, fixed, absolute, relative. Static is the default, right? So you don't need to mention it. And for static you cannot use top, left, bottom and right properties. Why? Because it doesn't affect. Then second what we saw, property or position, it was fixed. So whichever element you decide as a fixed position, that element will not move even though you have scrolled the page, right? We had seen that. Then third we saw absolute, generally not preferred to use, but still you should know it as it is in your syllabus. So you should know its negative points also. There might be some case that you have to place or you have to use absolute, so you should know how to use absolute. So in what case absolute is used? When you have to place the element exactly at that coordinates given in the properties like top, left, right, bottom, right? And the last is relative. This relative and absolute generally are working together. Means if you are using absolute, you can use relative positioning for the remaining elements so that it doesn't overlap like this, right? So these were the positioning of CSS. That's it for the day. Thank you.